future. But welcome. Um, so, like many of you, I succumbed to the Steam sale and just emptied my wallet out, and this is what I got, along with several other things. But I figured I would try streaming this. Um, I know next to nothing about it. I know that you apparently play cards with a trickster god, and while ill-advised, I mean that's totally my aesthetic. So let's go. I'm not sure a feather is
Night has
legal
fallen
tender.
and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days.
So unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a menu at the start, so I'm going to just keep going and hope that there is one so that I can set this to windowed mode so that it doesn't cut out the sound every time I try and check Twitch. Because I'm a pleb and only have one monitor, and yeah. Let's go to the house.
You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open.
And I may try and adjust the volume a little bit, actually. Alright, we'll see how it goes. So we're a hobo.
You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good.
So you walk in, there's a card game, you join it. No asking any questions, huh? Okay, let's go look around.
The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches.
This does indeed seem like they are not good players. I mean, sure.
The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him.
He's also got what looks like a wolf head. That's, you know what? Let's just keep playing. Maybe we'll earn some
One
scratch.
by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray.
The man in gray is never a good sign. Less a bad sign than the man in black, but unless it's Johnny Cash, then well.
Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand?
I mean, with a hand like that,
He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high.
I feel like this is a little bit of hubris here, but nothing can beat me. sure. Nothing can beat me.
But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is, but it's more than you've got. You can't match that.
Well, we can take our winnings and fold. Apparently we've got a bit.
The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. I know you'll be good for it. Just promise you'll pay the debt, however I ask.
That's not ominous at all. Let's check our card.
10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All spades. The man in gray smiles. All right, then. I'll call.
All right. Show 'em. Well, so much for that.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor. You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie.
You mean like the hand you dealt me? You mean like the hand you changed out for the fool? Yeah, I got that. You're the big bad wolf.
All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know.
About a lying wolf in a bolo tie that cheats at cards. I gotcha.
To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy.
So we're going to become professional liars, which, you know, I'm okay with. I've got training in that area. It's got to be better than being a hobo.
Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story.
Everyone wants to tell their story.
The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit, perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie?
No. Sometimes lies are better.
Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task.
Okay. Ooh, this is interesting. I'm not sure what all this does. I guess this was my hand, maybe? Tell them a story about the world. Sure. Oh. Tell the story of the parting of a cloud of fog to reveal a brief glimpse of a land of promise and plenty. I don't know what that accent was, but be prepared for more of that. 3 days travel. Tell the story of the northbound train blinking its giant eye as it crawls through the night. Justice, choice, morality. Tell the story of the endless series of doors of different kinds, each leading only to more doors. The Wheel of Fortune. Fortune, fate, luck. Tell the story of tossing a pair of bone dice on a blood-red velvet table. They come up snake eyes and wink at you. The Tower. Death, change, endings, moving on. Tell a story of a black and gray city where every building is filled with desiccated corpses. That's a little too dark. I think we'll go with the story of the Land of Promise and Plenty. Turn the desktop audio down a little bit more since it still hasn't offered me the ability to change settings. Let's go for it. Tell us.
Your deepest desires, your greatest wish, heaven? Big Rock Candy Mountain? El Dorado, the Promised Land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine. Well, I don't know where that is.
Well, that's
It's
unfortunate.
supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet.
I
They're
will.
all searching for the same thing.
Okay. Apparently he didn't like that story. Tell a story. I'll tell the story of tossed a pair of bone dice on a blood-red velvet table. They come up snake eyes and wink at you.
It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people.
I'm pretty sure I'm already seeing your true shape.
Not many who can do that.
You know, let's tell him the story of the northbound train.
Travel? That's your job. Wander from place. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over. But an old cliche in one state might be a rip-roaring new yarn in another.
Okay. Let's do justice. I mean, we gotta save the end for the end.
You sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy?
It's always a tragedy. I mean, you can have love and sex and tragedy, or sex and tragedy, or love and tragedy, but there's gotta be tragedy. There's going to be blood.
Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety.
A variety of tragedies. Got it. Alright. The end.
I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain.
I don't know if stripping away flesh makes this any easier. This really seems less easy as a skeleton.
Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told.
So you're not gonna Tell me about that.
Death, yes. But don't worry. As long as your task remains, you come back.
Deal with the trickster god. Got
Go
it.
on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you.
Thanks. Thanks for giving me cryptic clues and setting me on my way without my skin. I needed that skin, or at least I really liked it. So, I guess it's better than going without a skeleton, but still, I was really attached to that skin. Attached to my skin, yeah.
I'm jealous in some ways.
If you're jealous, you should do it yourself.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
You mean what you're looking for? 'Cause I'm doing this for you. Okay. Options. Thank goodness. Okay. Screen on, full screen off. Let's try that. Controls. We have inventory, recenter camera, help, map, hitchhike, or whistle. Okay. Alright, skeleton, let's go. Oh yeah, whistle. Actually, let's turn the sound down a little more. I do really like the music here, though.
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway.
That's not a good sign.
The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?
I feel like they're not innocent, but, you know, not innocent is fine. I mean, they're well armed.
You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? They demand. Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash, sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
I'm disappointed too. Let me go. Apparently I can walk on water. Alright. Can I hitchhike? Oh, my skeleton is... Ooh, I like that cloud. Find all 16 characters scattered over the US and trade stories with them until you earn their trust and finish their story. Okay. By having adventures, you'll begin to collect stories. When you meet characters, they'll ask you for different types of stories: tragic, hopeful, scary, thrilling, or funny. Remember what sort of adventure you had, and you'll know what type of story you got. Stories will grow and change as you tell them. Once you tell a story to a character, it will be out in the world, and you may encounter someone else who will tell you a better version of it. These better versions will be more entertaining when you tell them to characters, but be sure to tell different stories so that you have a chance to grow them all. So, we're playing a game of telephone. Stories you get from characters are wild cards. They will fit in any of the 5 categories. Or telling them will not cause them to grow, so use them sparingly as you're giving up a chance to spread other stories. Okay. If you want to swap around stories you tell, you can do that in the inventory. Gotcha. Several ways to travel. Walking, but it's slow. Speed up by whistling. Hold down the button and match the notes to keep your spirits and speed up. Okay. Hop a ride on a boxcar. Hitchhike. Or ride a passenger train. Gotcha. Each time you meet a character, you'll have a night to talk with them and exchange stories. Okay. Each time you finish a night with a character, they will move somewhere else. Gotcha. Huh. Alright. I'm not quite sure how this whistling works. Let me see. Options, controls, whistling. Okay. Well.
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
Not ominous at all.
The shape gives a start. Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here,
Aww.
it says in a small voice.
Why
He
not?
doesn't want to live with us anymore. But I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
I think I should look for his pa.
His father must have been here at some point, but you sure can't see him now,
Please go. He's coming back any minute.
says the boy, growing agitated.
He's going to see you talking to me. Please, go.
He only calms down when you leave. You don't see another soul for miles.
Well, that's unfortunate. I hope you enjoy a night in the woods, kid. Well, so much for hitchhiking.
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore. Just when the fishing is going to be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of
Charming.
a huge ceramic pipe. I got another year, I guess.
Of good fishing?
Another year of this town being here, he replies. letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place.
Taking it a year at a time, I see, old timer. Okay. I can dig it.
The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis. A confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise.
Man, I'd love the narration for this.
You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit.
I mean, if that's how you
To seek a second opinion.
if that's how you acted on the date, I'm not surprised she didn't remove as much as a single ribbon.
You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
So let's approach her.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Ah, so that's why there's a ribbon. Someone tried to hang her. Let's go to the lighthouse. I see something blinking up here.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you. At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door.
Seaside villages, lighthouses. As long as this village is not named Innsmouth and there aren't fish people. Oh god, there are probably fish people, aren't there?
Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough.
Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door.
Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. Always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead.
Are these an adorable gay couple of lighthouse keepers?
After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
Not the voice I thought was associated with that one, but let's step on inside.
Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor, and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. Tea? He offers, hoisting a teapot.
It's a dwarf. Could ask, must be lonely up here, and hopefully they'll answer that it's not lonely. They have each other. Or I could ask, been here long. Must be lonely up here.
Oh, we manage.
Mm-hmm.
The tall one sits on the sofa, casually wrapping an arm around the other lighthouse keeper.
Just what I thought.
That suits us just fine. He needs his quiet time. He's a writer. The tall one grunts. I dabble, but you must have some good stories from the road.
Well, I may have a few.
Wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes.
There should always be little cakes.
Snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
Well, good for them, making a life in a lighthouse. Well, we can walk to Boston. Hey. Apparently I messed that one up. It's okay. What? Let's go to this rickety old farmhouse out on the outskirts first, and then we can go to Boston.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another. The man with the truck leaps into the street.
Brother!
He shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle.
Brother!
He screams. They embrace in the road.
30 years!
Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him.
No! 32!
What a coincidence.
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
Take a photo of us!
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck.
You know what? This reunion is worth these people waiting for a little while.
The long-lost brothers pose in front of traffic, cry snot pouring out of their noses. As angry passerby wave you out of the road, each brother presses a coin into your hand. When the traffic disperses, you realize they overpaid you quite a shocking amount.
Oh, really now? I have money? Let's check our inventory. Pair of bone dice, thanks. Stories. I have 6 out of 200 and some. Okay, so I have the 2 lighthouse keepers. I wish I knew my tarot cards better. Okay, so that's like a timeline. And I haven't met any of these people. Oh, so nice little map. Oh. It's a bigger map than I thought. It's a much bigger map than I thought. It's the entire United States. Well. You know what? Let's go to Boston. See what's in the store. Hot apple cider, clam chowder. Oh, I assume these fill up various health and sleep meters, but I really want a clam chowder right now. And oh, here we go. I mean, in real life, I want a clam chowder, a Boston clam chowder. I believe that's the tomato-based one, which is really good. Mm. And the New England clam chowder is the one with the cream. There's a place nearby that makes really good clam chowder. Say, called Tarks. It's like a old school oyster bar. It just has a counter. The kitchen is just behind the counter, so you can see them cooking up the food. All it has is the bar. There aren't really tables. There's a couple tables outside, but you don't want that. Not in the Florida heat. Hot apple cider. Oh. All right. Let's explore.
Is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets splay out in a maze of narrow passages, no two alike. Soon, you find yourself in twilight, utterly lost. Bright light crests around one corner, a car approaching.
I'm probably going to get mugged, but I'm going to keep walking.
Unable to afford rescue, you keep walking. The asphalt turns to crooked cobblestones that threaten to wrench your ankle out of place. Was this always a moonless night? The stars multiply, each one looking like a pinprick through which light is exiting the terrestrial world.
The stars.
It's hard finding your way through in pitch darkness. You go by touch and sound, feeling the scale of the streets by the echoing of your footsteps, fingers tracing the rough surface of the buildings. And then, a rumble of noise in the distance.
I don't know if any of you ever read Terry Pratchett, but one of his Discworld novels, actually several of his, where the Ankh-Morpork city guards feature. The captain of the guards often says that he is able to tell what streets he is on by how it feels through his boots. And he always buys cheap cardboard soled boots.
You quiet yourself, suddenly fearful. The clear sky tells you it's not thunder, but cannon fire. The city comes alive with fires and shouting. You find yourself trampled by a mob of men in thick brown coats, a phalanx of bayonets advancing up the street.
That doesn't bode well.
When you come to, there's no sign of the commotion, the war that you were just caught in. The comically shrill honk of a Model A running up the road startles you, and you crawl toward the sidewalk. Above, the sky is a sharp, cold, cloudless blue.
Well, I got a story. Let's see if I can earn some money. Let's look for work. Absolutely. I'm gonna be sold for parts. Flee! Alright, that didn't work out too well.
This will be my tale, my vagrant soul.
Camp here, I guess.
Hey there, stranger. You're welcome to enjoy this fire with me, if you're respectful, that is.
Sure, I'll be respectful to you and your dogs and your obvious knife.
This here is my spot, and I ain't inclined to share it with any bad characters. You can call me Quinn.
Hey, Quinn.
These here are my venturing companions. Kaz is the big un, and the one with the spots is Flip.
They look like good doggos.
I usually beat my way on the rails, but the road news said this town was fat, and the weather was fine. So I'm taking in the sights and seeing what I can drum up. You got any happy stories?
Let's see. Okay. Okay. Alright, so in other words, tell them the right stories, open the eye up, figure out what they like. Sadness? That's sadness. Love of the two light. Where's the, the two brothers? I could have sworn I had. Here we go. That's family, but that's pretty happy. I'd say that's pretty happy.
Sometimes I need a tale like that just to remind me it's not all depressed out there.
Yeah, me too.
My family. There ain't no way I'm gonna start jaw flapping about those bastards. Judases, the lot of them. Enough said.
I feel like that may have impacted your adolescent development adversely. We can talk about that. We still have...
I hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
Okay. I mean, of course it's got a... bootleggers? Or the ghosts? Yeah, the ghosts. Ghosts in Boston.
You spin a good yarn.
I
I
do.
was shivering there for a little bit. Well, I don't know a whole lot about the past, but they say there's an Injun grave around these parts. Say it's haunted and full up with angry spirits.
I bet it is. Are there any other kind of spirits? You know, the contented spirits don't bother you much. It's the angry ones that you hear about because they're the ones making trouble. It's anti-spectral bias there, if I hear it.
I used to love hearing stories of cowboys and Injuns fighting it up. Would swap tales with the youngins.
The youngins.
Well, I suppose if someone shot me, I'd be pretty vengeful too.
Yeah?
Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
Exciting. What do I have exciting? Probably the bootlegging women. Seagulls. No, that's not exciting. The elegant woman in Portland. Oh, the one with... No, that's not too exciting. Yeah, bootleggers.
Whoa, quite a story, stranger.
It is.
Authority, bosses and such.
And you should trust me by now, kiddo.
nobody's little Angelina, if that's what you're asking. I take care of myself and my dogs.
Good doggos.
I don't need no jocker looking out for me, so if you're offering, don't. Shoot, I thought I told you to be respectful.
I don't think I offered.
You want to keep enjoying my spot or not? Think about that. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those.
I've given you all my thrilling stories, kid. Maybe about the boy who ran away with his father? Yeah, I don't have that many stories. So, that's gotta be it.
Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that? Jeez, freedom. Well, teacher used to talk about freedom like America was eat up with it. But the tramping kind seems to be just about the only real freedom still in supply.
I think you may have a slightly biased opinion of this, kiddo, but you know what? I'm not going to insult you around your own campfire. I mean, hard enough as it is. Just you and your doggos.
Ain't no freedom from an empty stomach or bad weather, unless you're rich.
Amen. Brother or sister or kiddo.
I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
No, I don't. But I can tell you a tale of sadness.
Well, that sure was a downer. Give me a good venture tale instead. Sad. Oh, so you think just 'cause I'm young, I gotta be sad, crying after my mama every night?
I don't think I said
I
that.
don't need you looking after me, so if you're offering, don't. And I thought I told. What you really ought to be asking yourself is if you want to keep enjoying my spot or not. Oh, heck, the night's over already. I sure enjoyed talking to you, but I gotta get on. I think I'll see what's happening up the road this way.
Okay, so he's going south, it looks like. Alright, I guess that's me, and that's him, or her, or kiddo.
The tramping life suits me just fine. Every day is a venture. With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it ain't.
Got that right, kiddo.
Plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
Well, where should I look? Well, that wasn't too bad. And I'm actually gonna cut it here. I think this gave a good little sample of things. Yeah, well, thanks for listening in if you are here. Most likely you're listening in from the future, though. I may come back to this. I really like the narration. I really like the aesthetic. It's not a hugely exciting or filled with action game, but you know, the voice work is very good, and it just hits my aesthetic of tall tales and American myths, and man, the music is good. The music is really, really good. So, alright. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you all next time.